Hey guys, I'm just going to do a little updating on my current gaming rig. This was actually the i7 2600K, if you recall the Antec 1100 project. Still running that as my main case. I'm going to do a little switching around. I got a very nice donation box that I'd like to mention. I got two of these EVGA classified. These are the GeForce GTX Ti 448 Core Ultras. So these are some smoking video cards compared to my old HD 6850s that are in here. Only problem is this motherboard is Crossfire only. It will not support SLI. So we're going to have to switch boards and stuff out, and actually I'm going to switch cases out. I think I'm going to put my i5 into this case because with these cards they get kind of warm, and I'm kind of concerned about not having any side fans on this. When I did this window, I wasn't concerned about it because I knew I was going to run them 6850s. They run very cool. They don't take a lot of power, so I'm not worried about that, and I can run them on my i5 board. So I'm going to continue running them in there. Basically everything else is going to stay the same other than the motherboard and the processor. We are waiting for the motherboard to come. UPS is supposed to drop it off, so I'm kind of waiting for them and getting ready. Start tearing this one apart so I can get the processor out of there for the new board. Okay, I'm just about to pull the Asus motherboard out of the Phantom case. That's the one we're going to put in the Antec 1100. See, that's pretty much stripped down. We pulled the board out and stuff to get it ready. There's the Gigabyte board that was in there. So I'm making a nice mess. I got screws and stuff all over the place. This should be real fun trying to piece everything back together. And still no sign of UPS, so I hope they show up by the time I'm ready. Okay, we got the i5 all back together. A lot of stuff stayed the same in here. I kept the two OCZ SSD drives in here, the 60 and 64. They're running in RAID 0 on this one. Power supply is the same. We did switch out the water cooler, the H2O cooler, because I'm going to use that on the i7. Put a Silver Arrow cooler in there by Thermalright. That should keep it nice and cool. And then we got them HD 6850 cards in there also. So this should be a nice upgrade for this machine once we get it ramped up to 4 gigahertz, and running them SSDs and them video cards should be quite an improvement for it. So now I can finish getting Windows installed on this and move on to working on the i7. Okay, UPS stopped by, and this is what I was waiting for. This is my new motherboard that I'm going to use for the i7. This is the ECS Elite Group P67H2-A2. These are fairly cheap boards. This is something like $75 to $80 for these. Not too bad. If you're not familiar with ECS or Elite Group, they've been around for a long time. They're actually really popular in Asia, not so much here in the States. But they do make a good product. I've actually had one of their motherboards a few years back with an AMD build that I had, and I was really happy with it. Even after it took a lightning strike, it still kept on working. Supports pretty much modern stuff. ATI, Crossfire, SLI. It's got a smart Marvel SATA 6 gig on it. It's USB 3. It has pretty much the latest features and stuff. The only drawback is it is that P67 chipset, so it's runs two PCI slots at 8x8x and SLI, but as most of you know, it's really not a big deal, being that there's only about a 1% difference between running two cards at 8x versus running two of them at 16x. But one thing that does concern me was when I got this, there's no tape or anything on it. It just pops open. I would think there would be some kind of a seal or something on it, which concerns me that this might have been a return or something. So I'm definitely going to give it a good look before I even attempt to put it in the case, just to make sure that there isn't any bent pins or anything. It looks like the stickers and stuff are all intact, but they certainly could have stuck them back on there. But let me get this out of the package and I'll show it to you. Okay, now that we got it out of the package, you can get a little better look at the board. It's not a bad looking board, nice layout to it. Reset, power switch on it, little debugging post screen there. Just a dual PCI slot card, or motherboard. Does run DDR3 up to 2133 overclocked, so that's kind of nice. Trying to get a good look at the pins. I don't see anything that's bent. I don't know if anything will come up in the camera better than it does by eye, because I don't have my glasses on right now, but it looks like that's okay. I can't really tell. The stickers are kind of flimsy on here, so they might have been placed back on, or maybe they just didn't use, you know, real good adhesive on it, but we'll find out when we put the processor in and see if it boots up. Well, I got the i7 up and running now. Thank goodness that motherboard was fine. Seems to be so far anyway. It read the processor, RAM, everything. Pretty happy with it so far. One thing I was concerned about was the size of these cards, and a lot of times they put that PCI E slots too close together, and they might not have room for ventilation, but as you can see, they left quite a bit of room there. And we do have that big 200 millimeter side fan that's going to blow on them, so that should keep them nice and cool. Haven't done the cables and stuff yet. I just started installing Windows, so I want to kind of get everything up and running before we do the final wrap up on the cables, just in case we have to change something or something isn't working. But see if you can pick that up. We got kind of a snowstorm going today. Picked up about a foot of snow, so good day to stay inside and play around and do some overclocking, get these machines running. Okay, we got both machines up and running. This one I'm just currently clocked at 3.5 gigahertz. I haven't bumped it back to 4 yet. Just trying to make sure all the software and stuff straightened out. Temperatures look good. We got Crossfire enabled. That has got the two HD 6850s in it. And this one, running an NVIDIA Surround. You can make that out using both of them 560 Ti cards. This one is running at 4.4 gigahertz. I do have it idling down when I'm not using it, so it's drawing less power. But idling in the low 30s, low to mid 30s. So pretty happy with that. I think we hit about 60 on a torture test on it with this setting, so I don't know if I'm going to bump it higher or not. Everything went pretty good on that part. Okay, the only change that we had to make was not to take that 200 millimeter side fan out, because it was hitting on the H2O 920 cooler. With the rad and the fans, it sticks out just far enough forward that the side fan won't go on there without hitting on it. I might try to mount a smaller fan, like a 140 or something in there, but as of yet it hasn't really been a problem. The CPU is staying nice and cool. If you can make this out here, our GPU temperature, we got 39 on one of the cards and 40 on the other. Of course, this is just idling, but in gaming I've seen them up in the upper 60s, which isn't too bad. So I might still add something there, I don't know, but at least for now they're both up and running. Upgrades went well. Glad to have everything back together, and that's going to be it for now, so thanks for watching. One more thing I wanted to mention was to thank the person for the donation boxes again, and I don't know where they are here, but it also, here we go, it also sent me a couple of game keys, one for Borderlands 2 and one for the Assassin's Creed. I'm not going to show them too close up because I don't want to give out the numbers on them, but that was awful generous, and I want to say thank you very much for that. Anyway, once again, that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching.